Hey, what's going on, you guys? So this video is going to be strictly TA and short-term price targets for some of the top stocks out there right now. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me for this video. I see the comments, guys, and so we are just going to work our way down this list right here. And I will have some timestamps linked in the description so you guys can skip around to see what you guys want to see. So we are going to cover Bitcoin, Riot, MARA, Nano Dimension. This is a pretty big one, and Sorrento. And then also, guys, I do want to cover some big blockchain players. So Riot and MARA, yes, are two of them, but I also want to cover a few more, XNET and Overstock in particular. There are two others which I'm personally not invested in, but feel free to check these out yourself. This is Canan, and then the 9, which ticker symbol NCTY. So feel free to check this out, but I will cover XNET and Overstock in this video, set some short-term price targets, and let you guys know what I'm thinking. Also, guys, I do just want to throw this in there. I am working on a video all about blockchain stocks and blockchain itself as a technology, so stay tuned for that. But I will be releasing that video later tomorrow. But I'll tell you right now that the blockchain industry is just starting to take off, and man, oh man, you do not want to miss this train for this one. This is going to be huge, and so I'll leave it at that for now, but I do just want to cover a few of the stocks, like I said, XNET and Overstock in particular. And guys, every stock that I talk about in all my videos, I am personally invested in, and I am long-term bullish. Okay, so with that said, let's kick it off with the golden trio: Bitcoin, Riot, and MARA. I do like covering Bitcoin simply because it does help us predict what Riot and MARA could potentially do in the future. Now, I do think Bitcoin has definitely lost its momentum. Okay, we started to play a head and shoulders, and I did cover this in my previous video, but we started to play a head and shoulders right here. So left shoulder, head, and right shoulder right here. We were supposed to pull back down to about $23,000. A lot of people were predicting this. Didn't happen. Formed a second head and shoulders. We're supposed to pull back down to about 30,000. Didn't happen, and now we are slowly capitulating downwards, and we are creating a lower low. So this is a pretty bearish sign. I do think that we are going to come back down and eventually hit that $30,000 floor. And if we do, which is a very high chance of actually coming back down to about $30,000, we will see a triple bottom, and it'll form a very nice solid floor for us to bounce back up on and continue ascending, make our ascent up and back into this channel right here, where hopefully we'll continue to climb until we hit about 50. That 50K price target, which I'll show you in just a sec if I can actually show you guys, which I'll show you right now. Okay, so about 50K in T minus 13 days. This might be a little bit of a stretch. I'm not sure, guys, but actually, I do think that is a bit of a stretch. So maybe a little bit longer, but definitely that 50K Bitcoin is coming up. I'm super bullish on it, guys. This short-term pullback does not faze me at all. It is a very healthy correction. It is taking a little bit, and so you might be feeling impatient, but trust me, guys, we're all feeling that way right now. Bitcoin is just throwing us in circles. There's just so many patterns within patterns playing out, and so for me, for right now, I'm saying a nice 30K would be a nice buy-in point if you guys are interested in buying Bitcoin. But what does that mean for Riot and MARA? So let's take a look at that. Now, Riot and MARA, okay, and guys, I've been preaching this for so long, but you guys, what makes a good trader a good trader? It's simply, one, having a game plan, and two, sticking to your price targets, okay? So that's exactly what we did here, and that's why a lot of people, fear and greed took over the market right here. You can see, I mean, this is just a great representation of psychology, right? You can see fear, greed, panic all playing in, and then eventually when the momentum slacks, you have a huge a sell-off, okay? So was this predictable? Absolutely. Did we predict it? Yes, we did. So we were waiting on that pullback to about this $20 line right here of support right here, which I do think that we are going to establish a nice line of support for Riot. And I do think a solid buying point, okay, for Riot would be anywhere between this $20 line and this $18.30 line. So this is the area that I'm looking for personally to establish a nice solid position. However, this area that we currently are in anywhere between about 2020 and then about 2080, 2090, this is also a decent area to start buying in. I do think that we are going to continue to pull back further, but I do like just buying in just in case I don't catch the bottom exactly perfectly. So that is my price target for the short term, downside price target for Riot. I do think for Riot that we are going to come back a little bit further down, and then eventually use this as a line of resistance, maybe capitulate a little bit, and then eventually take off again. So again, very crude drawings here, guys. I apologize, but you guys get the idea. Moving on to MARA. Okay, so MARA. MARA is unlike RIOT. So if we go back to RIOT just for a second, we see that RIOT was following just pretty much just one channel right here. MARA, on the other hand, was following this nice pitchfork channel. It made it very, very easy to play, very predictable too. I did say that once it broke this line, this $24 line almost, this was a great time to start like selling most of your positions. So I did start taking profits. I didn't catch the top exactly, and that's fine. But again, if you stick to your game plan, you will be rewarded. And so I took most of my profits around here, and now have been waiting for this pullback. It finally came, and the pullback, the area that I was hoping that it would pull back to was about this line right here, this $20 line. It kind of beat that, and now I am going to be buying in. I'm going to be doubling, maybe even tripling down on my position in between this area right here. If it pulls back to about 1635, that is a very solid line of support right there, historically at least. And so this will be a very good buy-in area. And I don't think it will fall lower than 16. I definitely don't want to see that happen, but if it does, I'll be just picking up more. So again, for MARA, probably we'll see something a little bit, maybe a little drop further before capitulating in this area right here, and then breaking out again. Now, hopefully we actually do come back up to test this line of resistance now, and hopefully break back into this channel, because this was a pretty nice channel it was following. So it would be nice to kind of see it come back up in this channel, and then we can ride the wave to about $40 right here, and then obviously $100 in the future. But yeah, that is what I'm playing on. If it does want to come back into this channel, that would be great. But if it doesn't, then we'll figure out a new pattern to play. But for right now, my short-term price targets is on the downside, on the low. And so when it does pull back even a little bit more, I already started establishing my position as it came down this morning. So I was picking up shares. Now I'm just going to average down as it continues to dip lower and lower. And Bitcoin will obviously help drive MARA and RIOT's price down. As it tanks further and further. Okay, so moving on to Nano Dimension. So Nano Dimension, this is a pretty big player in my portfolio right now. I have been talking about this a lot, and basically it did exactly what we thought it would. It broke out of this bull flag pretty nicely. Right here is where they diluted their shares, and so unfortunately we couldn't come up to test this this historical, very, very strong historical line of resistance right here. So what we are doing right now is we actually are attempting to break this upper line of the ascending channel, which we kind of successfully have done. So I do think that in the coming maybe 1 or 2 days, maybe even tomorrow, we are going to see this come up and test this line, hopefully break it, and then probably what we'll see is it will come back down into this channel right here. Now, I think also when it does break it, keep in mind that this is a very, very strong line of support, or resistance, I should say. So when it does break it, I do think that we will hopefully stay above it for quite some time, maybe a few days, before we kind of break down back into this channel. And we might not actually even break down. We might actually use this as a line of support. That would be great to see, and then we just keep on taking off. You guys know that my short-term price target for Nano Dimension is about $16, $17. That was a 2x from where I originally bought it at, around like $7, $8. So I am looking for that. A lot of you guys were saying $15. I like that price target as well. I don't think we're going to hit that this week, but if we do, that's all the better. I do think in the maybe next 1 or 2 weeks from here on out, maybe we'll see that $15, and then this $16, $17 Nano Dimension by at least mid-February, mid to late February. So again, for my swing traders out there, these are pretty great price targets to just have in mind and to play by. So moving on to Sorrento. Now Sorrento, I did talk about a little bit in my previous video, my top 4 stocks, and Sorrento was one of them. As you can see, we very nicely formed a triple bottom right here. So 1, 2, 3, and then we broke out to the upside. This was pretty predictable. Now this was just, this breakout was just in the making for so long, guys. I'm finally glad it happened, but now this line that it's facing right now is a very, very, very strong line of resistance here. I do think that it's going to be pretty difficult to break, but once we do break it, it's a pretty clear shot to about I would say about like $15 ish. So I do think that we are going to start capitulating to the side right here, maybe establish some lines of support, and then eventually break it on some bullish news, which, you know, I have no doubt in my mind that Sorrento will eventually release some great news on some of their treatments and progress that they just have been making. So on that news, I do think we're going to see another breakout to about $12, face very little resistance around here, and then break up to about $15. And then again, long term, guys, I am hoping on that $20 to $30 Sorrento. And so yeah, I will keep you guys updated more on this in the future. All right, so moving on to some of the blockchain companies I was talking about. Let's start with XNET. Okay, so XNET is a pretty it's grown in popularity. A lot of people are starting to cover it. Discover I just found out about the stock a couple weeks ago, so it has been on my radar. They have been working a lot with blockchain technology. And so I will cover this in, again, like I said, I'm making a separate video that's coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I will cover blockchain more in depth and explain to you guys exactly how it's going to impact our future, and so why like this could potentially be like a 10x from here. I do think right now this bubble right here was just straight up hype. We have came back down, so I do think we're actually going to come back up pretty quickly to this level again, and then come up to test this pretty significant historical line of resistance. If you guys haven't noticed by now, the magenta lines, all the magenta lines I've drawn are historical lines of resistance that it's set at least 1 or 2 years back in the past. So these lines are generally tougher to beat than these purple shorter term lines of resistance. So I think once we do come up here, we will see some pretty significant resistance before breaking out to the upside. And then my short term price target again is about 650, and then after it breaks it, my next price target is about 950. Okay, so that is how I'm playing XNET. I do have a very small position established for XNET, and I do plan to continue adding. I do also think that we are going to capitulate a little bit further. I'll draw that in for you guys. So probably like around here, break this line pretty easily, come up to test this line, capitulate a little bit more, and then eventually come up to test this line, maybe break it even, and then capitulate for a greater period of time before fully taking off to about 950. So that is my price prediction, the way I'm going to be playing this stock. And yeah, so let's move on to Overstock. So Overstock is I've been eyeing this stock for quite some time now. I did initially have some on the run up right here, this crazy run up back a couple months ago. So it did peak in about August, and I did buy in around like $10-15, so very low. Some people got in like at $3, and I think so many people at the time realized like how freaking undervalued Overstock was, so that that they just pumped the stock up pretty crazy. I mean, every day this stock was up at least a couple of percentages. So eventually it did collapse right here. The bubble did pop, and now I'm looking for a re-entry point, and that re-entry point I believe is right now. So anywhere between, I believe, anywhere above really $60 to about and below like $63-64 is a pretty good buying point in my opinion. And the reason is because of this descending / falling wedge pattern it's been printing for the last several months. And so I mean, however pattern you guys want to play this by, I personally am playing it by this descending wedge pattern, just because this is a very strong indicator of a breakout. Now I did think that once it kind of topped this upper line right here, we would see a pretty significant breakout, maybe to like right here about $70. But I guess I hoped for too much there. But I do think we are still going to come up to test about this $72 line, $71-72 line of resistance right here. And keep in mind, guys, just from here to about here is like a change within like $5. It doesn't look like it on the chart, so I will zoom in to show you guys a little bit better. So as you can see right now, we are basically above the 50 MA, but below the 200 MA. So this is a pretty bullish indicator in my opinion. And I do think that once these two lines cross, so once this 50 MA starts to like rise like this, so I extended that line right there, and this 200 MA starts to dip just a little bit, this cross right here is a very good buying point, so around $63. I personally started establishing my position back a couple days ago around $60. So I do expect a full-on breakout to about $71, and I do think we're going to continue ripping. This stock is just, it's setting itself up for a very nice run up once again, like how we did see a couple months back. So I am fully hoping on that, guys. This company has some great fundamentals driving its price up right now, and so I do fully believe in it, and I do have I'm going to continue growing out my position on this stock. Now, again, stay tuned for a video that I will be posting covering the stock fully in depth. That will be tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But for right now, guys, take care. I wish you guys the best of luck in whatever stocks you guys are trading. And I hope this helped you guys out just a little bit. Please leave me a like and comment down below and let me know what you guys are playing, what your price targets are. I love seeing what you guys have to say. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.